Hey everyone, so here I am again in the month of August, giving you some tips to support your anxious teen. Now, if I think back, what was the number one thing that I think would really help teenagers? And I think I could pinpoint it from all the years of experience that I've had in the classroom, and then obviously working as a therapist, in a variety of my programs. I believe that the number one thing that I wish for them and that they really need and is lacking is to have a voice. Now, that voice is a healthy voice that can advocate for themselves and advocate for their needs. So it's not an angry voice. It's not a defiant voice. It's not I got a voice, I can speak up for myself. But actually to communicate what it is that they need. Because like we know, there are so many feelings that are not felt, that are pushed to the back of our subconscious, and and obviously that's where my work is. That's my jam. And when a teenager feels a certain way and they push it back there, but if they were able to communicate healthy, compassionate language, what it is that they actually need from their caregivers, whether it's you as parents, you as their mom, teachers, bosses, fathers, whoever it is, but if they were able to advocate for themselves and communicate their needs, that would be amazing. It would be fantastic. And yeah, it'd put me out of a job, but it'd be really good to see this generation to be able to do that. Now, we all have human needs, okay, regardless of race, religion, financial situation. It really doesn't matter. We all have the same needs. We need to feel safe. We need to feel loved. With all the 5 love languages that we have, we need to feel that we matter, we're significant, and that we belong. And in all the cases that I work with these beautiful, beautiful young teenagers coming from so many different backgrounds, they're all saying the same thing. They don't belong, they feel different, and they're made to feel that they're not worthy or they're not enough. And if they had a voice, then that would smash that. It would smash that belief, because especially at a young age where it's sort of imprinted upon them and they start to believe that and soak it in and believe that, yeah, I'm not worthy. What's the point of even trying? I'm not good enough. Good stuff happens to that family over there who lives in that side of town or goes to that school, not me. Do you know what I mean? And then it becomes part of who they are and becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, as we say. So my advice to you as their mom is to teach your anxious teen I statements, okay? So I statements, and I found that they're really powerful, and they're basically, it's a ninja trick here, they disarm any opposition. So whether that's opposition is you or, an authority figure or their teacher, it really helps, and it helps to open up a conversation. And that's why it's really important. And I hope you allow your teen to watch this video, because that's the whole point, isn't it? So, for example, when speaking to a teacher, they could say, all right, these are just some scenarios. When you choose other students to answer or to do a position or responsibility, whatever, when you choose other students, despite me having better marks, it makes me feel I am not good enough. So there's the I am statement. I am not good enough. Or it could be, when you choose other students to answer in class, despite me having my hand up first, it makes me feel I'm not good enough and I'm not worthy. Now, obviously, as a younger teen, they may say things like that. And as an older teen, they may not want to say things like that. But it would be really great. Or it could be, when I'm answering a question and you cut me off, them speaking to the teacher. When I'm answering a question and you cut me off, it makes me feel like I am dumb. Now, believe me, with all the the times I've had in the classroom, and all the teachers that I've mentored, and I've trained teachers and I've mentored them due to me being a senior teacher, I could probably count about 5 teachers that shouldn't be in the teaching profession, but the remaining 95% of them, they have good hearts. And when any student comes to them and speaks to them like this, despite them having big classes, huge deadlines and marking and all that kind of stuff, but any student comes to them and speaks to them like this, honest to God, they would be disarmed. They'll lay down their precious red pen that they need to mark with, and they would just be like, really? I made you feel dumb? really? I made you feel not good enough? Honestly, I can feel the tears just welling up behind my eyes. They would be so sad. Male or female, they'd be so sad because that's not what they're in the profession for. They're not here to do that. They're here to teach. They're here to be in a good example, to mentor your children, to mentor your teens. So if you come with language like that and you teach your child language like that, honestly, you can start working as a team. So just side note, little caveat, because obviously I'm a parent, but I've been a teacher for 24 years, so I kind of know the whole shebang. Don't be that mom who just wants to sort of point out all the wrongs in the teacher. Work with your teacher. I'm not saying your teachers are fantastic, but work with them and use language like this. I feel when you do this, or when you don't answer my email, or when you cut me off, it makes me feel dumb. It makes me feel not worthy, or I'm not good enough, or I don't belong in this class. Things like that. That kind of language really empowers, it engages, and like I said, it gives your child, your teen, your anxious teen, the voice that they need to advocate for their own needs. And they really do need it because they don't have it. They don't have it. So, in the above scenario, most anxious teens, if this was to happen in the classroom, and this is from my experience, a lot of those teens, what do? If they're cut off, if they're not asked to for their answer, if something happens and they're kind of dismissed, basically that teen will either lash out, all right, they will rebel, they will either just sit there crying, make a scene, or they're just going to move inwards even more, just feeling even more misunderstood, further isolated, and it's like they're being punished for having those feelings in the first place. So can you see, that's just not great. No teenager, especially an anxious teen, doesn't want to be in that situation. So unfortunately, that cycle, that loop, they're just stuck in a loop now. They raise their hand, they didn't get asked, they feel unworthy, and then they don't have the words to communicate what they want, and they don't have a strategy. And obviously here, as a certified experienced therapist, I'm giving you this, so hopefully you can use this with your teen and put it into place. So let them feel understood and give them an avenue for those feelings. Give them a voice, and that's really, really important. So like I say, feelings need to be felt. I've said that so many times. Else, what do? They regroup and they come back stronger. Now sometimes they come back stronger and they trigger panic attacks. They can trigger even more anxiety symptoms. And I remember in that poll, one of the worst anxiety symptoms is anger. So they can lash out, especially on their caregivers, because they love you and they know that you've got them, which is a great thing, but it's not working for you. Obviously, we need to, have healthy boundaries. So how can we help? What do we need to do? We need to equip our anxious teens with a confident voice full of poise, that can advocate for themselves, hold healthy, compassionate boundaries, and communicate their needs. Because you know what? If they could just tell us what's going on, instead of us guessing and snapping back at them, it would prevent them from, like I said, further sinking into their own shell, feeling that no one understands them and feeling misunderstood. And you can actually, you're holding out an olive branch and they can reach it. And you can get them out of that deep sort of hole that they're putting themselves into. And hopefully, communicate their needs. Now, if you want help with coaching your teen into achieving all the above and everything that I've just said to you in this video, then just sign up for my 90-day Fearless Confidence program. Drop a heart maybe in the comments after watching this video, and I'll get in touch and show you all the details about how to move your teen, how to give them that voice, to advocate for their needs, how to give them the language to use to understand that how they're feeling needs to be felt. And they're not stupid or silly or being dumb to feel like that. It's very normal. We're all human beings. We all have the same human needs, regardless of where we come from, what our names look like, the color of our skin, and obviously financial background. So I really hope this was wonderful. I really hope you enjoyed it. Give me a comment below, especially if you're watching it on the replay or whatever. Just put #replay and I can see who's been watching it later. That'd be fantastic. Leave a heart in the comments if you want to know a little bit more about the 90-day program. Okay, take care for now, and I'll probably see you soon.